Hello, welcome to Parenting versus Podcast.
The podcast.
Part 2.
Yeah. Well, we attempted to make a podcast yesterday, and it was like hyper interruption, like mega drive.
It's kind of like the premise of our podcast is that there are interruptions, but yesterday was a little bit overkill on the interruptions.
Yeah, so we just decided to scrap it.
Yep. And none of our kids are napping right now. 2 are in the pool. We're watching them. And 1 is watching them in the pool. So, fair warning, there might be interruptions today.
Well, there's always interruptions. You don't have to warn them. I think they're used to it by now. Yeah, I'm feeling super New Mexican today, actually. I know we always talk about New Mexico. Surprise! But Lorenzo made us like the most fabulous, delicious red chili New Mexican brunch. And there's a picture on our Twitter, actually, because I was that impressed.
What qualifies something as brunch, by the way?
It's not breakfast, and it's not lunch.
But does it have to have an egg in it in order for it to qualify for brunch?
No, I mean, some people like champagne in their brunch, so that's like saying, does there have to be booze in it? I don't know. I mean, I think brunch is just like, you're not really sure what to do with yourself. You maybe got up late.
You could just call it a late...
But you're eating lunch early? I don't know.
You could just call it a late breakfast or an early lunch.
Then we're getting into the territory of like dinner, like lunch and dinner, or like...
Yeah, that doesn't sound as
sexy
as classy, yeah.
Brunch is like such a sexy meal.
We had brunch underneath our devoir.
Devoir?
What's a devoir?
I don't know.
What were we saying?
Now you're just making up French-sounding words.
Oh, isn't that the thing that, like, rich people use to...
Davenport?
That's...
The veranda?
The veranda?
Veranda?
What's a devoir?
I don't know.
I'm afraid I'm saying something weird.
You might be saying something really offensive to French people.
I know.
You could be calling their mother something not very nice.
It's like a word that's in my head that I have no idea how it got there.
It's probably not a good thing to say those words if you don't know what they mean.
Yeah.
But no.
I was thinking Davenport.
Davenport, okay. Well, yeah, so Lorenzo made us this amazing brunch. It was lovely. And we are playing in our pool. Our kiddos are playing, and I don't know, like we went to the mariachi.
Well, you want to talk about what's in the lunch?
Oh, go ahead. You're
Okay.
the expert. You're the resident New Mexican. I'm just a foreigner here.
I'm not a resident New Mexican. I'm the New Mexican ratatouille.
Okay.
I'll explain later.
There you go with the French stuff again. I don't know.
Ratatouille, yes. No.
Is that what our kids have been watching lately?
Yes, they watched Ratatouille.
Yesterday.
And Ratatouille is inspiring, by the way, to get a rat.
To make you be a chef.
To make me be a rat chef.
Yeah, to make you...
Oh, is Riley okay?
Yes.
Okay. So I had a New Mexican red chili.
Yeah.
In the form of a powder. There are a couple different ways you can get red chili. You can get the pods, which are basically dried.
By the way, when you talk about chili and you're true New Mexican, it kind of sounds like you're talking about drug dealing. Like, we can get it this way, you can have
really
it this
is.
way, you can
No,
cook it this
seriously.
way. I mean,
No, for
there's
real.
some, Breaking Bad elements.
No, for real.
in there.
Like,
I feel like
I went into the room to change. I was putting my trunks on because I'm going to swim with the kids.
you're like the Walter White of red chili.
And I started to sing about chili, red chili.
Oh, I missed that.
Yeah, you did. It was pretty. I made myself chuckle.
Bummer.
So you can get it in a couple different ways. You can get the pods, and the way you cook the pods is you get those and some garlic and salt and water and put it in a blender and you blend it.
Wait, do you have to blend it into a paste, or is it like
You blend
more
it.
of a sauce?
You blend it very. Well, it depends on how much water. If you put not that much water, then it's a paste. If you put more water, it's more of a sauce.
Yeah, okay.
But you don't want it too watery. Pasty's all right. Watery's not okay.
I hope Pasty's all right, because you married the most pasty woman on the planet.
Yes, I love you, Pasty. So you can get the pods or you can get the powder. And the powder, the way I cook it, is I'll get some sort of meat and I'll start to brown the meat in a little pot, like a sauce pot.
Saucepan?
Saucepan. It has to be a little pot. Can't be a skillet.
Okay.
I used breakfast sausage this time.
It was really good. It added a really good flavor.
Yeah, and then I put like 3 or 4 tablespoons of water. I eyeball it. I eyeball it completely. There's no measurement. Yeah, it's in my blood. From via Rudy Chavez, Rodolfo Juan Chavez, my grandpa.
He was also a mariachi, and I'm not even making that up.
No, for real.
Like, he legit was a mariachi.
And I tell my students that all the time, that my grandpa was a mariachi, because I have a bunch of Mexican kids in my class.
Do you know how white people say that?
Maharachi?
Maharishi?
Maharachi?
Mariachi?
Mariachi,
The
yeah.
mariachis?
Yeah,
well,
it's
look
all
at those
good.
mariachis. They're so good.
It's all good. I don't know any Spanish except for like how to say mariachi. So.
And that one song, the song that you're.
Ay, Jalisco no te raje.
Yeah.
I didn't know what that means, but I know how to say it. It's like Jalisco doesn't mess around or something.
I don't know, but
So,
there's a song about it.
Yeah. But yeah, so I got the red chili powder, and I put, I don't know, I would say like 4 tablespoons of a red chili powder and like maybe like a quarter cup of water, mixed it around. It was a good consistency and it was delicious. And then I got a bratwurst, cooked that on the grill, and then I made some potatoes with some rosemary from our garden.
Yeah, that was awesome.
There's actually something about eating something that you've grown. I don't know, it's kind of weird.
It's that whole you built this with your hands thing. I think it's like your innate human need to like cultivate and produce something and be like, this is mine, I created it.
Yeah, for real. For true.
No, but we went to the mariachi, the Maharishi,
The Maharaji.
the Taj Mahal.
It's the Taj Mahal in our minds.
No, there was a festival, a spectacular. I can't even roll my R's.
Spectacular.
So. Yeah, see, I can't do that.
Mariachi Spectacular.
De Mexico. We went to that on Friday, and that was pretty great. We got to see all these little kids playing all kinds of instruments, and
I'm gonna put our baby in the swing, so she's
okay. And that was really cool. So we got to see that. Everybody was all dressed up and doing their music, and there go the kids. That was almost a record, I think. We made it like a whole maybe 10 minutes without some kind of incident. And now my 5-year-old is playing with the hose, trying to get the dog to eat the hose because the water. Oh my gosh. Ugh, happy Sunday. But yeah, so we did that. And Lorenzo's grandpa was a mariachi, and it was interesting because he passed away before we got married. And we eloped, but we had a little reception here in Albuquerque when we got back. And we had some mariachis at our wedding. It's kind of traditional here. People do that. So we did that. We had our reception in this little hacienda in the North Valley. And the mariachis that were playing at our wedding had a picture of Lorenzo's grandpa in their guitar case. It was really crazy.
Yeah, they had no idea.
Yeah, and we were like, how do you know that man? And like, that was so nuts. And they're like, oh, he inspired us, or what did he say?
I don't know. They just said he's probably just a good friend of theirs.
Yeah, so it was weird because they were friends of his grandpa's, and they didn't
well, I mean,
know
it's
us. And...
now that you think about it, it probably wasn't a huge deal because my grandpa was a mariachi for like 60. I'll take care of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, no, finish your thought.
Okay, so he was a mariachi for like 60 some years before he passed away. So he probably networked pretty well with like the other mariachis. I'm gonna take care of our daughter.
I think it's nap time for that one. Oh my gosh. If you can hear this, I promise that we're not like beating our children. They're just nuts, and they're yelling and screaming in the pool because water makes kids crazy. Like, there's something about water and then bubbles. Those two things are like child insanity. So every time we get our kids near water, they're like, blah! Like they're a bunch of little yahoos. And then, same thing with bubbles. You start blowing bubbles, and it's like these kids go nuts. So I'm not really sure why that is, but pro tip for parents, like if you want to entertain your kids, give them some water or some bubbles and watch them entertain themselves for hours. Or sidewalk chalk. Holy cow. I hope the neighbors don't think we're like drowning our children because they're really loud. But then again, so are our neighbors. So, meh. But yeah, so that's a good parenting tip if you don't have kids or you have really little kids. Check out those bubbles or those blow up pools and go to town. But yeah, so I don't know. The weather's really nice here, and it's breezy, but it's warm. I have a friend in from Denver. What up, Erin? She and I went out for a little bit last night, and that was cool. We got to kind of do the New Mexico thing and talk to people. And it's inevitable that whenever you go downtown in Albuquerque, you're going to run into one or many people that you know, because people tend to run in the same circles and go the same places. So I did that, and that was pretty cool. It's nice to hang out with friends and friends that I've missed dearly. And I do need to have a shout out real fast.
Okay.
Okay.
What were you just talking about?
I was just talking about the day and hanging out with Erin from visiting from Denver and doing our New Mexico stuff. shout out to my cousin Jenny. Congratulations. She just got married this last week. So I just wanted to say congratulations because she looks really happy and it's pretty cool.
Awesome.
They live in Phoenix.
Marriage is fun.
Sometimes.
We eloped.
We did.
Yeah. Yeah. That was fun. We just decided one day that, well, we didn't just decide one day.
Maybe you should back up and say the entire story because it's kind of funny.
Well, I wanted to talk about an NPR article I read too.
Oh, well, you can do that too. I mean,
yeah.
There's so many options.
But there was one day when me and Lindsay were dating, and romance was in the air, and the movie was playing called Repo, the Genetic Rock Opera.
Don't ever watch it. It's so bad.
Yeah, Paris Hilton's in it.
It's terrible.
It's based in the future, and it's a musical. It's a rock opera.
It's kind of like Repo Man. Like people have to.
Yeah, they
lease organs to stay alive, and then.
And if you can't pay off your organs, like somebody will come and they'll repossess your organs.
It's stupid. Yeah. Don't put yourself through that.
So after that, I was like, hey, do you want to get married? I think we had like tossed around the idea a little bit.
We joked about it a little bit.
Okay.
He needs a towel.
Riley needs a towel.
Oh my goodness. So we watched this really terrible rock opera musical thing. I think it was probably the only thing on Redbox we hadn't actually watched, so we were like, I guess we're getting this one tonight. We're watching it, and actually, Erin was my roommate at the time too, so that was kind of funny. And so Lorenzo was like, do you want to get married? And I was like, yeah, okay. Like, that sounds good. So we decided, because like the next week was spring break and we had already planned a trip out to California to see our buddy Jeff in Irvine, we were like, let's just get married like when we go out to California on spring break. Like, we'll just go do it. So we looked up the courthouse in Laguna Hills. We registered to get married. We picked a day and a time, and we did it.
Yeah.
Spent the rest of the day on the beach. Had a bottle of champagne. Mm-hmm. It was pretty great.
And here we are 8 years later.
Yeah. So,
doing a podcast.
Doing a podcast. So, yeah, I mean, big weddings were never really, like, my thing.
No. But yeah, the reception, that's when you were talking about the mariachis, right?
Yeah.
When I was putting our daughter down for a nap.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
cool.
It all comes full circle.
Mm-hmm.
Those mariachis.
It really does. So, earlier today I was reading an article on NPR.
Okay.
And it was really cool. There's this giant stick bug that they thought was extinct, and I'll link the article too.
Is there some being a dinosaur?
I think so.
I hope so. Okay, sorry.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It sounds so bad.
Yeah. He pretends to be a dinosaur all the time. So this article, there are these giant stick bugs that live off these islands. I think it's called Cook Island in the South Pacific, like close to Australia. Mm-hmm. And they thought they were extinct. So what it was is like there was this ship back in like the 1920s or something that run a, what is it called when you run a something?
Run aground?
Not run amok, but
run
aground. Yeah. And so they had to get off the ship and repair it, but goodness, he is
we already
obnoxious.
Apologized for interruptions today.
Sometimes I love my boy,
listening.
But
it's on you.
Yes.
I don't know whether to laugh or just like.
Every time I have something interesting I want to share, something
shame.
Happens. Like
this is our life.
That our kid starts to like make, like
sound like a constipated dinosaur.
Something. Oh goodness. All right, so.
Oh my gosh. It just gets worse. Don't let him see you laughing. He's just gonna keep doing it.
I guess. Okay, so now the article is like not even interesting anymore.
Stick figures. A ship ran aground.
Stick figures?
I mean, stick bugs or something.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, just leave it alone.
So, yeah. So there was a ship in like the 1920s that run aground on Cook Island, right? And on the ship were giant rats, and these giant rats, they got loose on the island. And they basically ate these giant stick bugs to extinction. Like they're giant stick bugs.
Just 'cause they were, yeah,
and these are huge stick bugs. Like these are prehistoric stick bugs. Yeah, buddy, what's up?
Yes. I do see that cockroach way over there minding his own business. Why don't you just leave him alone? He's not anywhere near you.
Stop making dinosaur noises, okay?
Maybe you could be a whale. No. Okay. Well, are you done with the pool?
No, I want to wait for the cockroach to be gone.
He's not, honey, he's not anywhere near you.
He's gone. I don't see him anymore.
Kick. Hot.
Yeah. All right, so prehistoric stick bugs. These are huge. Oh my goodness. You can have the cake. Here, hold this.
Oh my gosh. This is gone. We have just run aground in our podcast. No one's having cake. What are you talking about? Nobody's having cake, dude. I'm not getting cake for anyone. What? I swear. Like, my 2-year-old says cake, and then my 5-year-old somehow thinks there's cake, and then all of a sudden everybody wants cake, and there's no cake. Oh, yeah. You know, I'm going to side note it here since we have a minute. Thank God my 5-year-old is going to his grandparents tonight. I love him, but it's one of those nights where Game of Thrones is on again. We need to not be interrupted by that.
I need to tell I'm burning.
You're burning? You're burning? Apparently our city is too. I hear ambulances. So Game of Thrones starts up tonight. Our 5-year-old's going to his grandparents. Thank you, Jesus. By the way, if you're a parent and you have grandparents nearby, that is priceless. Enjoy that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Luke's going to spend the night at his grandma's house tonight, so that's pretty awesome. And if you're still with us right now, kudos to you. You are enduring the insanity. So I'm going to finish talking about my NPR article, if anybody cares. So these stick bugs. Okay, hang on. Okay, we had to take a brief time out.
That was not brief.
Well, it was not brief.
I had to be the bad guy. We had to do a little good cop, bad cop.
Yeah. We're parents first.
Yep.
Hobbies come last, always. It's okay. So yeah. That was fun. But, yeah, so NPR article. I'm going to finish talking about that. Is that okay?
Go for it.
All right. Since our podcast run aground, we're going to talk about this ship that went run aground in the 1920s. And when it ran aground on this island, I think it was called Cook Island, these rats were released onto the island, and the delicate ecosystem of the island was destroyed from these rats. Well, I don't know if it's destroyed, but definitely thrown off.
Altered, for sure.
Altered. Yeah, there were these giant, like stick bugs, like huge. And they were like basically eaten to extinction because they're big. Rats can eat a lot. Now the wind's picking up.
No, nature's against us.
Yeah. So
Okay.
the wonderful afternoon wind. Hopefully this will bring us a thunderstorm.
That'd be awesome.
But
Monsoon
yeah, so
season.
these rats basically annihilated these stick bugs, and scientists thought that that's just the end of these bugs. They're done. They're gone. But there was this other island that was close to Cook Island, where recently, I think like 2001, the article said that these climbers, and that was a really cool looking island, by the way. It's like this like like just coming straight out of the ocean. But
It reminded me of Lord of the Rings.
Oh, did you see the article?
I glanced at the picture.
Oh, okay. Oh, because I tweeted it
Yeah.
on accident. That's kind of why I
Okay,
yeah.
well,
Yeah,
there you go.
I
It's on our
tweeted it. I
Twitter.
meant to tweet it on my account, but I tweeted it on the podcast account. Oh yeah, if you want to know the article, it's on our Twitter at parentingvspod.
Mm-hmm.
So these climbers, and you can probably read it yourself without me explaining it to you, but I just thought it was really neat, and I wanted to ask you a question. These climbers went up and they saw these, they saw bug poop, giant bug poop.
When you say giant, like how giant are we talking?
So 12 centimeters, I think the bug is. So I would say maybe like 8 inches, six to 8 inches long.
I know what bug poop looks like.
I don't know.
I wouldn't be like, oh.
Well, if they're
that's right.
scientists, they know what to look for.
They find
I guess.
feces fascinating.
They probably do, actually.
Yeah. Well, no, I mean it's just I'm just like, how would you even know? Like,
Yeah.
where would you begin? Like, that looks like.
Well,
just
I
bug
would
poop.
think that some bug poop probably doesn't like very, very much. I would say.
Why do we always talk about poop?
It's just part of our life.
It's probably true. I guess as parents, you're sort of like uninhibited about talking about bodily anything anymore.
Yes, that's true. And we can go down a very nasty rabbit hole there if we wanted to.
Let's not do that today.
Let's not.
Okay.
I was going to incorporate New Mexican food, bring it full circle.
Don't do that. Well, now we've all got a lovely image. Thank you.
All right, so they found this bug poop, and the scientists were like, "Whoa, what is this?" We need to look more into this, and it turns out these stick bugs, they're nocturnal and they like to eat around these bushes, which they look like these bushes, I guess. Like that's their camouflage. So lo and behold, they came at night. They found the stick bugs. They're giant. Okay, you're telling me to move it along, so I'm gonna.
No, I'm saying giant. Like how giant?
They're giant. I told you they were like 8 inches.
Is this going to be like a fish story where they get bigger as you tell the story?
I don't know, but the pictures of the bug were pretty gross. So they, the scientists, they wanted to rehab these bugs. So they took them to the zoo, rehab the bugs, and now they wanted to introduce them back to Cook Island. They wanted to annihilate all of the rats, all the invasive species rats, and introduce the bugs back on. But now they have to convince the townspeople that, hey, it's cool, we can bring these giant bugs back to your island. So they had to convince them. So they made a commercial, or like a video. They made a
public service announcement.
Yeah, they made a video trying to make the bugs more appealing.
How do you PR a bug?
This is what they were trying to do. So they showed like a very magical video of these bugs hatching, and there's like really like nice music in the background, and then it shows a giant stick bug hatching, and it's the grossest thing ever. It's this like slimy green like creature like coming out of an egg, and they were trying to like warm up to the townspeople, like, hey, no, it's all good. These stick bugs they're adorable.
Jurassic Park in your home. Yeah. Don't worry about it. It's fine. It's fine.
So anyway, I just thought it was funny that the video was trying to make these bugs look adorable, and like bugs are never adorable. That's just something they're not. You just can't make a bug adorable.
You cannot make a bug adorable.
Like baby orca, yes, very adorable.
Even baby dinosaurs.
Baby dinosaurs are pretty darn cute. Yeah.
There are some animals though. It's like they're born adorable and then they just get ugly. You know. I mean, I don't know. But it's interesting. We shall see. To be continued with the bug saga.
No, it's not to be continued. That's the end of it.
No, but I mean, are they going to introduce them
back?
Yeah, they
did.
Oh, they did? So the townspeople, the village folk were okay
I guess
with
the video warmed their heart, and they said, hey, bring over the giant stink bugs, or stick bugs. So. Wow. Anyway. Wow. That was a lot for just a very silly story. I thought it was interesting when I read it.
I think it's interesting.
I'm
just glad that we don't have like grizzly bears being reintroduced.
Actually, they did I think they did reintroduce grizzly bears in Colorado, because the grizzly bear's natural range comes all the way down to New Mexico, and even
hell no,
even moose.
I am already scared of bears. Like I don't need any grizzly bears like hanging out in New Mexico, getting jobs, taking our jobs. You know?
Yeah.
I mean, we have enough problems.
True. Go back to Canada.
Back to Canada, grizzly bears.
No, actually, moose have they wandered into New Mexico.
I love that. That's how most people get here.
they wandered. They had to get deported.
Oh man.
They did.
Trump.
I know. He should have built the wall.
I'm sorry. I just picture a moose like smelling the aroma of roasting green chili and being like, what's that smell? I'm gonna follow the wind, and then it like ends up here, and it's like
nobody
nobody
understands that, by the way, except unless you live here.
Yeah, that's true.
Nobody understands that. But
that's how you know it's fall in New Mexico.
It's pretty darn magical.
It is really magical.
It smells a little bit like weed, sort of, but better.
I don't think weed. Well, I think that it has its own smell, but if you didn't know what you were smelling, yes, you would probably think that everybody in New Mexico was like toking up.
It's definitely a very wonderful aroma that happens around September, and it's like 2 months away.
I can't even wait.
I told you September and October are my favorite months here.
Yeah, no, for sure. And then Balloon Fiesta's coming, which is awesome. I'm just like excited about the weather. I just hope it kind of cools off a little. I'm excited for monsoon season. That should be happening fairly soon. We've had a couple, but
yeah,
I don't know. Here we go talking about New Mexico again.
Yeah, I know.
Just can't get rid of us.
So I think we're out of stuff.
I don't know. It's so funny because that little episode with our kids like drained me. So our 5-year-old has been really talking back and like really anti everything I say. Everything. Like there's always an argument with me about whatever I ask him to do, or he just pretends like he flat out doesn't hear me. I've tried being nice. I've tried saying, "Are your ears working? Let me check them. Are you sure they're working? Because it's like you don't hear anything I'm saying." And that didn't work.
Nope.
And then so finally he just like flipped out, and so I made him go and sit on his bed, and I told him for 30 minutes you need to read a book and sit on your bed and have quiet time until you can calm down. And he's like, "No, you calm down." And I was like, "I'm calm, bro. I'm calmer than calm."
Calmer than you, bro.
Yep.
What's that from?
I don't know.
Calmer than you.
I don't remember. But yeah, so he's in his room reading a book, and now I think he's actually enjoying himself. So
yeah.
But I don't want to punish him. I just want him to learn how to like calm down on his own and like self-soothe a little bit.
Yeah. He is our little bookworm for sure.
Oh my gosh, he's nuts though. He's just got this attitude thing happening.
Yeah.
Like they say 3-year-olds are like 3-nagers. 5-year-olds are like
5-nagers?
hellions?
Yeah.
I don't know. They just want to exert their sense of justice and self-determination over everything. Mm-hmm. Even if it's like the dumbest thing.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, like, I don't know, like the other day, I got his pajamas out, and he's like, "But those aren't the pajamas that I was thinking about." And I was like, "Those aren't the pajamas you're thinking about. I'm not a mind reader. Like, I don't know what's going on in that little 5-year-old brain." And then he, like, flipped out because I was somehow supposed to know what pajamas he was thinking about. And I'm like, dude, I have no idea what you're even talking about right now.
Yep.
And here he comes.
Here he is.
No pants loop. Yes, sir.
What's up, buddy?
Where is Julia and Mom?
They're napping.
It's napping. They're having quiet time.
You can swim if you want, or you can hang out here. It's up to you. Yeah, we had...
Are you ready to be calm?
We had a
Yeah? Okay.
little bit of a family meltdown. It was brief, but now things are calmer.
We reached the threshold of
We did.
Dominguez sanity.
We did. We had to pause the podcast even.
That's how you know it's serious.
Yeah.
Man. So, I do have to say one more thing.
Yeah.
Because I just felt, like I was saying at the beginning of the podcast, I felt super New Mexican today.
Mm-hmm.
Eating our New Mexico brunch outside, and like, we were listening to Calexico.
Mm-hmm.
And that album is awesome.
They're not from New Mexico, though.
No, they're from Arizona, I think. But that music went well with the food.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, I'm
did.
feeling it right now.
Yeah.
Super feeling it.
That was a lovely, lovely lunch.
Yeah.
It really was.
What's your favorite album of the summer so far?
Ooh, that's a good question.
I need to ask you because I haven't asked you this summer yet. We do this every summer, by the way. We decide what our favorite summer album is.
There are a couple, for sure, that I've been listening to a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So, not John Mellencamp.
Whoa.
John Cougar Mellencamp. No, not him. John McMillan. John McMillan.
Yeah.
He has a, like, kind of recent EP with, like, I think there's, like, 8 tracks on it. It's a pink album with, like, flowers on it. Kind of been enjoying that. It's kind of cheesy, but I don't know, I like his music.
Mm-hmm.
There's that, and I don't know. The new Alt J has been it's been like an IPA. It's acquired taste sort
No,
of.
that one's heavy on my rotation too.
Yeah. So
For sure. Well, you're gonna have to wait
Yeah.
just a second, Hungry, and I'll see if I can find Luke.
No, my stomach.
Oh, your stomach is hungry. Okay, give me a few minutes and then I'll get you a snack, okay? All right? Deal? Good deal. Okay.
yeah, so those, and then it's not new, but the newest Blink-182 because what's his name, Skiba, from Alkaline Trio. So it's kind of like Blink-182 featuring Alkaline Trio. I think it's awesome.
Nice.
The newest Newfound Glory. As you can tell, I'm kind of like a pop punk guy.
Yeah, I would not have that at all.
Yeah. And there's a couple others on my rotation that
Capital
have been...
Cities has a new EP out.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
The pop
As
punk?
of like 2 days ago.
So,
We might do a barbecue.
there you have it.
I just spilled coffee on my leg.
This is like crash and burn. Run a.
Let me just dump it on
Run a
myself.
land. Spill your coffee. Yeah.
Well,
crash and burn.
It's got creamer in it and it's cold, so I mean, there's no.
You might have to hop in the pool.
But yeah.
Can I touch it?
You can, sure, if you want to touch the coffee on my leg, that's so weird. I know.
You want to talk about what you're liking this summer, or do you want to?
Well, I like Capital City's the new one. They only have released a few songs off the album so far. The new Arcade Fire, I'm really digging that. It's kind of a retro throwback dance album.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
If kids drink coffee and then sip it up fast, it will burn. They won't burn their mouth.
Well, kids should not be drinking coffee, period.
It's true.
Yeah. So yeah, the new Arcade Fire, the new Capital Cities is good. Again, the Alt J album, the most recent one that just came out, that one's pretty heavy on my rotation. You know, and I have to say, I was really excited that Fleet Foxes had another album out, but I haven't warmed up to it yet.
It's
It's very slow.
Yeah, super slow. Huh?
And it's
Target gets a tumbling.
You're funny. But yeah, so I mean that they have a new album out. I've listened to it maybe twice, and I just haven't found my love for it yet, but maybe it will happen over time.
Yeah.
I could grow to love you, Fleet Foxes.
Yeah. And I think we're learning a lot from this episode as far as, you know.
I'm learning that I probably should have put some rum in this coffee. Lesson learned.
Oh my goodness.
And I'm just kidding. I'm not like a serial alcoholic. I just, you know.
It'll be yummy.
If you
If you
cook
did
ramen
what?
noodles, they will be yummy.
Ah, okay.
5-year-old wisdom.
That is 5-year-old
Hey,
wisdom.
Luke, is there anything that you want to say before we sign off on this podcast? Is there something important that you needed to tell everybody? Yeah?
Okay,
Go
what
ahead.
is it?
What do you need to say?
Today I'm spending the night at Grandpa's house.
Are you excited?
Ah,
Yeah.
spend the night at Grandma and Grandpa's house.
Yeah, he loves going over there, so that's pretty cool, huh?
Good times.
Good times. Well, tonight's Game of Thrones night. If you're into that, enjoy. We are going to be doing that. We're having some peeps over. It's going to be crazy.
You have to find out if it's available on HBO
I'm
Go.
just kidding. It's not going to be crazy. It's going to be a bunch of 30-something-year-old old farts sitting around watching Game of Thrones. It's exactly what it sounds like.
Yeah. Pretty much fantasy and nerds and yeah.
And all that.
All right.
What?
He heard you say old farts.
Oh, yeah, I said the F word, huh?
All right, guys. Well, you enjoy the rest of your day. I apologize for chaos, unless you just like to chuckle and laugh at our chaotic life. Then
Well, when
enjoy.
you say words like fart and poop, it makes 5-year-olds giggle a lot because it's funny.
Yeah.
It's
Okay, since we're there,
Oh, jeez.
I know my son has gone to the potty when he's told me that he's made a he made a humpback whale.
Oh, gross.
It's like, Daddy, I made a humpback whale. Okay.
I think you embarrassed me. All right.
So-
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.